All right, here we are. How is everybody this evening? Welcome, welcome. All right, so we are not alone, right? So you think I'm talking about aliens? No, no aliens. That's not what we're talking about. So we will get into that in a minute. I just want to remind everybody that if we have any interruptions in the stream, any issues whatsoever, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So just be patient and hang in there, and I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Okay. Secondly, I'd like to remind everybody it's family friendly channel. So no nastiness in the chat, no racism, anything like that. Very simple rules. If you cannot abide by those very simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're just not going to tolerate it. Okay. It's just not going to happen. So, but anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's had a good week. But very, very, very productive with the greenhouse. I was real happy with what we got done with that this week. It was a lot of work, but it was awesome. So I'm glad it's done. So anyway, couple things I got to go over. I'm gonna pull out the old soapbox first before we get jumping into this tonight. So in my last stream, we got into a little sideways discussion, and I upset a bunch of poly purebreds. Oh, they were so upset. They had to tell me that they were leaving because I was talking about sex, and oh my God, how horrible. So here's the thing, okay? And I'm not going to get into any kind of sex talk tonight. That's not what I'm talking about. If you are so pent up in no down Hella. I don't care if he's in the way. Down. Hey, get off that bed. If you are so pent up, Hella, down. Come on, move. Let her get in here. Come here. Get over here. All right, yeah, get over here. You got to be close to me. I know. Yes, it's okay. All three of them right here. Unbelievable. So anyway, okay. If you are so pent up in so about a minute conversation that I had about sex, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in a post event when your feelings are really going to get hurt? When you're going to have to deal with a lot of adversity? I feel sorry for people like that. I really, really do. You know, what I don't understand why that is such a, oh, we can't talk about that topic. You know, why not? Everybody does it. It's proven because if you have kids, you've probably done it once or twice, right? I don't know. I don't understand the mentality of people, but it is, they're like, people are just way, way too sensitive and they need to relax. It's not a big deal. Really isn't. But I just thought that was very, very funny. I was very amused. I'll be honest with you. It was crazy. So one of the things I do want to talk about before, we're gonna get into first time I had sex, I was afraid and alone. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Sharon. I hope it wasn't too scary for you. But it's just, people need to relax. They really do. Take a breath. Don't be so serious all the time. Life is too short. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I hate to think what it's like for those people that were so bent out of shape. I feel sorry for their partners because it's got to really suck for them. Okay, it's got to really suck for them. Missionary only tonight, dear. You know that. That's all we're doing. So sorry for you. Anyway, moving on. I just had to get that out. I had to talk about that because I just was like, I'm like, really? To get so butthurt. Anyway, so there we go. So I said it. And it's okay to spice up your chat. Your talk was not offensive. I didn't think it was offensive either. I really didn't. I didn't think it was out of line. I wasn't like getting into Somebody's like, I don't want to hear about your sex life. I wasn't talking about my sex life. I'm just, like I said, too many pent up people in the world. They got to see. Here's the thing. For everybody that gets so pent up like that, and I did give this advice to somebody in the comments. You may or may not have seen it. I said to them that they're welcome to leave, and when they leave, they should probably take the corn cob out of their behind, because they're a little bit too pent up. And that would be my advice to anybody. If you're so pent up like that and so upset, just take the corn cob out. It'll make you feel better, easier to walk around. It really will be. So, people are interesting. I'm going to tell you what. And as my buddy keeps telling me, Steve keeps telling me, what's the matter? You can't keep 91,000 people happy? Apparently not. As much as I try, and I try to be so politically correct all the time and try to be sensitive to everybody's needs. Yeah. If you think that's that's definitely not me. So anyway, something interesting that I have talked about in the past, and now it is actually a little dark monster coming to light here in New York State, Emperor Cuomo. Oh my goodness gracious. Chickens might be coming home to roost a little bit for him, right? I don't know if you guys have saw this in the news. A staff assistant has come out. Hey, Deneen, I like it better outside, LOL. Snow is perfect weather for it, LOL. How's that? There you go. I'll tell you what, it is. I just was out here just before the stream started. I took Miss Hella out for a potty run. And it is, well, they're saying it's 11 in town. So it means probably, like I said, it's probably about 4 up here. So, but it is crystal clear outside. The stars are out. They're absolutely gorgeous. It is amazingly beautiful, but it is cold. It is cold out there. No wind yet, so I'm happy about that. But yeah. Anyway, so I want to talk about Emperor Cuomo here in New York. One of his assistants came out and was talking about that they were hiding the fact, because we have talked about this, how he shipped up all these sick people to upstate New York nursing homes, and the coronavirus got through all these people, and a lot of people died, right? And so that is now coming to light, which I think is great because, in my opinion, he's a murderer for forcing those nurses, because they didn't have a choice. This was the thing. These nursing homes did not have a choice. They had to take these people from downstate that were sick with the virus, and they shipped them up here, and they put them up with a whole bunch of other compromised people, and more people got sick, and a lot of people died, which was absolutely horrible. And so yeah, to me, he's a murderer. I'm sorry, people don't like that. That's too bad. But you need to. How dare you diss Lord Emperor Cuomo? I'm so sorry that I have to be a dissenting voice. But yeah, I just, I get so sick of him patting himself on the back, saying what a wonderful job he's done with the virus. Anybody check out New York City lately? Any of my subscribers in here? Anybody from New York City? I know there's some of you down there. How are things down in New York City? How's the restaurant business in New York City? How many places are closed? Did you hear his response? He said, "So what? They died. So what?" I did hear that. Yeah, I did hear him say that. I did. Yep. And that's just that is a narcissist. That's a narcissist all the way. I have Mr. Caesar is right here. Yep. He has a tendency. He'll sit here because it blocks Hella from coming over near me. Because they're very, very jealous. They're very jealous. It's like, because I take her out. I have to take her out more frequently because she's still potty training, and they will sit at that back door, especially Pandora, and she will whine and cry, and it's like, what do you want from me? So, but they're all good. They're all good. They all get their attention. But Long Island suffering badly. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things down there in New York City that are just decimated. And they're they do. You don't care. He's sitting in Albany. What does he care? It's unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you what. I'm way out in the country. I'm 400 miles away from New York City. So, what happened in New York City where we are really didn't affect us very much, other than the fact of the nursing homes. Different nursing homes here had taken in residents from down there. And we had a lot of deaths in different nursing homes in the area because of that. And of course, now they're really covering that up. They're not talking about the deaths in the nursing homes because, I mean, again, I want you guys to think about this. If you had a loved one and you're thinking of, okay, where do I want to put my loved one? They have dementia. Let's go with that. You're not being a bad child. You're not being a bad son or daughter. You're adult. You're adults, and your parent has, they've been home with you, and whatever the case, or they had their own place. Now they've developed dementia and Alzheimer's, right? And they're a danger to themselves or others. You can't care for them at home, so you have to place them somewhere. You have to place them someplace where they can be monitored and they can be safe, and they're not going to hurt themselves or anybody else, right? So you're trying to make that decision. Are you going to go with a nursing home that, oh my God, we had 75 COVID deaths in this nursing home? Or are you going to go with a nursing home that maybe had 5, right? Oh, we only had 5 over here. You're not going to go with that nursing home that had a lot of deaths because it's been in the news. It's a lot of bad press. Oh, this place is a cesspool, and they handled it poorly and all those type of things, right? You're going to go with the nursing home that supposedly only had 5 deaths from it. So they're not putting that information out there. And of course, they're very slick with this. These nursing home administrators and stuff are very slick. Well, it's a HIPAA violation. Under the HIPAA laws, we really can't discuss that. Believe me, and it's all about one thing. It's not about care and concern for the resident. It's about covering their behinds. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. So that's a huge, huge issue. But again, with him forcing those people to be taking in people that were sick, that had the virus, you had a lot of people die because of that. So not pleasant at all. So anyway, so that's my take on that. So let's get into what do we got? 571 in the chat. We're at 248 on the thumbs up. So real quick, I'm going to ask for a thumbs up if you have not done so already, and I would appreciate that. So thank you ahead of time for that, to show support for the channel. Also, I would ask you to shoot a thumbs up because it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel that way as well. So thank you for that reason as well. And last but not least, I would ask you to do it because I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So thank you very much for doing that. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. So here's the funny thing too. So YouTube is back to their games, right? I was on a nice run. Numbers were going up, and it's almost, you get to a point, and I was waiting for it to happen, and then it happened. Of course, YouTube puts the brakes on you. So you start, you'll get an increase in numbers, and they take a whole bunch away. And then you start getting an increase again, and then they take more away. They restrict what you're putting out there so that people aren't seeing your streams or your live streams or whatever, stuff like that. People aren't getting notifications until the next day when the live stream is already said and done. Just a lot of games being played. I really don't understand it. I really don't. It's just what we have to deal with. It's part of what it is, and we just have to go with it. So, but it's a lot of games going on. Not sure, but didn't he pull a family member out right before he did it? I don't know if he did or not. I know his mother's elderly, so I don't know. What, Hella? It's okay. I know, you're fine. You're fine. I know you're just a baby and you want to be right next to me. So, hey, Seth, how do you handle the Q, folks? It's a situation that I wish was true, but I see no evidence of truth in it other than speculation. It's a problem. Yeah, you know what? The whole Q thing, I never jumped on that bandwagon. You can watch my videos and see if I'm telling the truth. Oh, Hella was whining a little bit because she just wanted to be over here, and she's here now. But no, the whole Q thing, I wasn't, if you had hardcore proof and evidence of what you were speculating, because like you said, all it was a lot of speculation. I want you to think about this, and this is why I kind of was really hesitant with the whole Q situation. Supposedly, Q was an inside person in the government, right? That was giving out all this information, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen, supposedly, right? Do you not think that the government has a long reach with anything? And if they made a decision if they figured they had an internal bug, they'd figure out who it was. They absolutely would figure out who it was, and they would stop it in a heartbeat. So, again, I just, what? What? You're okay. Yes, you are. This dog is so pretty. Hey, mountain kayaker. What is your plan to get deep if you get deplatformed? Many have moved to Rumble, Bichette, and Bridgeton. You know what? I haven't even thought about that, to be honest with you. I mean, I have my website, obviously preppernurse1.com. I would probably let people know what was going on from that platform, what I was going to do if that ever happened. I would hope that it wouldn't, but you never know. Been on here a long time, so hopefully we don't have those issues. But I don't think that I state my opinion. I give people that option. They can do whatever they want to do. I'm not trying to do any conspiracy theorist stuff. I try to stay away from that. I mean, we can. I'm trying to think. Do I go along with the narrative? No, I don't. Okay. I absolutely tell people that they should question absolutely everything. Okay, relax. Yes, relax. Lay down. Lay down. I think people should question everything, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But yeah, the whole Q thing, I never really got into that, and I hope you start backing up your videos on Bright Eon. It's called Bright Eon. Okay, yeah, I haven't. My videos are just there. They really are. If they deplatformed me and took them all away, that would be a lot of videos gone. It really would be. But yeah. Let's talk about Q for a second, okay? There is out there a tremendous amount of misinformation all the time being put out there to scare people, to entice people to do this, that, or the other thing, to keep you focused on things that aren't, obviously aren't true, things that are not going to happen. I mean, there's still people that think, that, I mean, I saw the White House is dark. Nobody's at the White House. This is going on, and they're at a studio and they're doing. I just almost like you got to let that go. Okay, Biden's the president. It is what it is. Now, am I happy about that? Absolutely not. I'm not. I'll be the first to admit it. Okay, but and again, is it about? To me, it's about policies. It's not about the man. It's about the policies. What is the agenda? And look what he's done. What's he doing? He's opening up the borders. He's letting all these criminals go, as far as illegal aliens that they had locked up. And, he's opening the doors and letting them out back on the streets until they're convicted, because they're not convicted yet, right? I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. Taking the cap off of the insulin, where now these companies can charge whatever they want for insulin, for EpiPens. A good example, okay, really dear friend, neighbor. I actually met them through a garage sale, and they prep as well. And I'm not going to say their names, but they're very, very nice people. So she was telling me, and we're going to take this. I want you to think about this, okay? So she is deathly allergic to bees. I mean, like, she could die if she gets stung by a bee. So she's got to have the EpiPen. So she said she keeps one in her purse with her at all times, and she keeps one in her kitchen. Well, they're only good for so long. So she had to go and get a new prescription for 2 EpiPens, which means 1 shot each. So 2 shots. You know what the cost of that was for that poor woman? I want you guys to guess. 2 shots, that are going to be one and done uses, EpiPens, in case she goes into anaphylactic shock. I want you guys to guess, and I'm going to tell you, what that woman paid for those. So let's. I want to see your guesses real quick. So we got 175. We have 600 each. We got 500, 1,300, 250, 500, 600, 5,000. You guys have got pretty high guesses here, but you're not that far off. $325 for 2 shots. Now, I'm sorry, it did not cost that company that kind of money to produce those shots. And a lot of guesses here, but again, that's insanity. That is absolute insanity that you would charge somebody for something that's going to save their life. This is to save her life. If she gets stung by a bee, she's dead. Okay. So while we were talking, what I had said to her was, try, and this is something, I don't know if some advice to people, maybe you don't know this or not. I said, if you can eat it, you might not be able to. Try eating honey. Okay. Local honey, non-pasteurized, that you can get from local. Start eating that every day. What that's going to do is that's going to build up in your system, and that's going to help with those antibodies, so that if you get stung, you have that bee stuff already in your system. And so hopefully, that will help her with that. So that's what I had encouraged her. So she doesn't even know. She don't know if she could eat it or not. So she's going to try it. Now, obviously, if she had an allergic reaction to eating the honey, she has the EpiPen. So, but it's totally different eating honey than getting stung by a bee. But it's a great way. Insulin is way worse, up to $1,000 for 28 days. It's insane. It's insane. You have a great stream of conscious approach to your streams. It helps me. Oh, hold on a second. It helps me make sense of things. Thank you, Seth. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I just, I try to be honest. I'm trying to, I'm not going to come on here, and there's plenty of channels. If that's what you're into, if you want to be scared to death all the time and deal with that, you can go watch those channels, because they're out there. Gloom and doom, and the sky is falling, and all those type of things. Now, could the sky fall? Could something happen? Absolutely, it could. And we talked about that. But to spend your life living in fear and being afraid all the time, and doing that type of thing, that's not healthy either. So a healthy fear, to a point where you're looking at a situation and you go, okay, is this a possibility that something that could happen? And so you prepare for those reasons. That's why we do what we do. That's why we prep, because we prep for the unknown. To run around and say, this is happening or that's happening. I'm going to tell you what, and I want you guys to really think about this a second. So why do we have this stream of illegal immigrants coming across the border all the time, constantly? Why? Because who's putting them to work? Big businesses are putting them to work. Processing centers for, chicken and meat and stuff like that. You know what? People, these people are lazy and they don't want to work. No, these are the people that are going to do the stuff that you don't want to do. They're going to get out there and they're going to work their butts off. They're going to save their money. They're going to take that money. They're going to send it south of the border, and they're going to take care of their families, and they can live like freaking kings, because it's like, the cost of living down there is a lot cheaper. Hey, mountain kayaker, it's more about staying vigilant. You're absolutely right. That, staying vigilant, being aware of what's going on, taking the information that is, thank you very much too for that donation. And I agree with you 100%. It's taking the information that's being put out there, dice it up, disseminate it any way that you want to, process it, take what you want to take out of it. If somebody's on there telling you, it's just like, okay, all these people were on here, and not on my channel, but I mean, I saw different things, and they were like, Trump is going to be the president again. It's going to happen. This is even after Biden had already won, right? Now, I was hopeful. I'll be honest. I was hopeful, but obviously the reality was it wasn't going to happen. And but all these people were so locked into, oh no, no, Biden's going to be out and Trump's going to be in. There's going to be the mass arrest. I'm like, mass arrest up to here, right? Guantanamo Bay. All these people are getting locked up in Guantanamo Bay. I mean, you heard that all the time. He's draining the swamp. There's going to be mass arrest. You know, Hillary Clinton's going to prison. These people aren't going to prison. Those people don't go to prison. Okay. And if they do, they get pardoned, or, it's just, we are constantly being played, constantly. So stay hyper vigilant, pay attention to what's going on, take care of your families, be as ready as you possibly can be when something happens. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so when I say when something happens, I really want to drive this home. It does not have to be an end of the world scenario for SHTF to happen. Loss of job, sickness, death in the family. It could be something that affects your street. There's a pipeline burst, and it's a danger to be there. I'm trying to think of the name of the town. Oh my God, what was the name of that town? Back in the 70s, and there was a whole town that had things were contaminated, and everybody in the town had to get out of there. People were sick. They were something river, I think it was. Anybody can remember what it was, the name of that town? If I know you guys know, some of you are going to know what I'm talking about it. Some of you guys are going to know. But God, I can't remember the name of that. Love Canal. Thank you very much. I knew you guys would know. Somebody would know. But Love Canal. So you had an entire town that the water was bad. People were getting cancer, all kinds of issues. So that's a SHTF event for those people, right? Because that's affecting you directly. So those are the type of things that are going to happen. Let's talk about the people in Michigan, in different parts of Michigan, with the water still bad, undrinkable water. They put the tap on, and they're dealing with dirty water and brown water, and it's not clean to drink and stuff like that. Hey Seth, just for the record, immigrants are just as desperate for a good life. We are all one people. You're absolutely right. And you know what? I'm not saying that they're not. What I'm talking about, they would not be coming here the way, and thank you for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well. They would not be coming here if there wasn't opportunities to work. These big businesses are putting these people to work, but they're paying them less than they would pay somebody else. They don't have to give them benefits. They don't have to do anything because of the fact that they're illegal. So, they'll probably work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, not complain, be happy to be making money. I had heard, hey, Bizages Riz is here. Okay, guys, again, he just put out another episode of his show. Go over and check it out. Very, very good information. He did something in his show today. He's doing a series of an apocalyptic event. He's actually doing an EMP series. And he made a really, really good point today, which in his thing, and I thought it was fantastic. So I'm going to give it away, but you guys got to go and check him out. So if JJ, if you would throw up the link for his channel, go show him some support, guys. Give him some love. Subscribe to his channel. Watch his series. It's really, really good. He talked about something that, and I hadn't even thought about it. And in the series, it's getting towards wintertime, his EMP happens, and he lives in an apartment complex, the character does. And the neighbors are out in their cars, running their cars to warm up in their cars because of the fact that it's so cold, because there's no electricity in their buildings. And I thought that was a great point. And the point he was making was, when the weather cleared and if they were going to bug out, they wouldn't have any gas left. And then you would have, all those issues. And I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yep. So there's the link, guys. Go over there, show them some support. But it was a great point, and I just thought that was awesome. So I just had to mention that. So definitely go check him out. Check his channel out. Show him some support. Really good information. And again, anything that makes you think, I think is important, because thinking is a lost art a lot of times nowadays. But you're welcome, man. Hey, you know what? If I thought it was crap, I would say so. But I think it's awesome. Your series is really good, and it's given people a lot of good information, a lot of food for thought, a lot of food for thought, and very realistic. It's not, over the top sensationalism stuff. It's really not. It's very, very realistic, and I think that that's important. But again, so getting back to my point, what I was talking about before, about like, so Love Canal, all these people had to move, their lives were upended. That's an SHTF event. Okay. So SHTF event doesn't have to be the end of the world as we knew it. It can be something that affects you directly. Now, could it be a life altering event that affected the entire country or the entire world? Absolutely. Absolutely, it can be. So you need to really think about those things. You really need to think about those things, because the reality is, we never know what's going to happen. Any event can be something that affects us. And so the more prepared we are, the more ready we are for whatever's going to happen. And I think that's so important. Again, there's no telling. And it's I'm going to tell you what, peace of mind is priceless. Peace of mind, there's nothing like having peace of mind. So being prepared and being ready, you can go to head, put your head on that pillow at night and you go to sleep and you go, okay, you know what? Something happens. I'm as ready as I can be at this point. Now, could we always do something more? Of course we can. There's always something more we can do. But you just do the best that you can. You do the best that you can. And if you have given yourself any kind of an advantage over the majority of the populace, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that edge. Knowledge is power. I've talked about that a lot of times. The more skills that you can pick up, the more things that you can learn, I think is hugely important. And I think that people should be looking to do that. They really should be. When it happens, again, it's going to be like, oh crap, I didn't see that coming. And then it's on. And I hope you got a game plan. I hope you have a plan. I hope you have people that you can work with. I had a comment today, and I thought that this was funny. I actually found it to be amusing, because as preppers, we are prepared as preppers. So this person in the comment said, if you store food and I store bullets, then you're storing my food. And I think it was just a generalized statement is what he was making. But here's my take on that. Okay. As a prepper, you prepare for any contingency there is out there. So if you are out there and you're just buying guns and bullets and stuff like that, you figure, I'm going to go and take from people, right? You're going to be starving. You probably have lost a tremendous amount of weight by that point. You're probably not getting proper sleep. You possibly may be sick. If you're drinking bad water, that's going to be affecting you as well. How are you traveling? Are you able to travel in a vehicle, or are you on foot or on a bicycle, or whatever the case may be? You're probably overexerting yourself, which you're not used to. So all these factors are going to come in to degrade your mental condition. But at the same time, the prepper over here, who's been getting ready for whatever contingency there is, he's rested. He's getting enough sleep. He is armed to be able to take care of the situation. So basically what you're doing, the person that just is out there collecting guns and ammunition, you're going to bring the ammunition to the prepper. Then the prepper is going to take you out because he's clear-headed and thinking properly. Well, you're not. You're desperate, tired, sick, possibly, whatever the case may be. So after he takes you out because you are not physically or mentally ready to fight that fight, then you've basically brought him his more ammunition, which is, as a prepper, I'm going to say thank you, for those people that are going to do that. People need to realize preppers are not just prepping food. We're not just prepping medical supplies. We are prepping, we are preparing for whatever contingency comes down the pike. And we are ready to defend what we have. That's just smart thinking, period. Okay. As a prepper, you guys are prepping out there, hopefully, that are watching. You are doing the same thing. You're prepared, you're ready to go, you're doing what you need to do. And I think that's so smart. And that's what we all need to do. But remember, there's going to be people out there that are going to try to take what you have. You're going to need to set examples. Okay. I kind of talked about things a little bit earlier today, about, you know, looking at situations and assessing things, and, your moral compass. Your moral compass can become skewed very, very easily in a post event. Somebody made a great comparison in the comments, and I thought this was it was a perfect example. And I know it's from TV. Rick Grimes, right? The Walking Dead. He was a sheriff. He had a positive moral compass, but over time, because of what they had to do to survive and stuff like that, that moral compass gets skewed. And then you basically make decisions based on that type of stuff. Okay. Um, Good people will not necessarily always be good people in a post event, depending on a situation. That's a reality. And if you think that you're going to be, unscathed or untouched in a major post event, you're sadly mistaken. It's going to touch us all. Now, how we deal with that, how we process that, how we justify, I want you to remember that word. That's a really important word, justify. People will justify in their minds why they do what they do and make it right. You have it. I don't. I want it. You don't deserve it. I want it and I need it. There's a justification right there. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Hey, Seth, take your effing mask off. Stop complying. Right. Well, there you go, too. Again, people. So here, I'm gonna use an example. Thank you for making that statement. I do appreciate that statement. Here, I'm gonna give you an example. How could the Germans in Germany in World War II, before World War II started, how could they be so brainwashed? How could they turn on people in their own country? How could that happen? What happened? How were they able to be manipulated, right? How could that happen? It's happening right now. It's happening right now, right here and now. I want you to think about this. So, I'm a company and I have facial recognition software. But I need people to be separated apart. I can't have you all bunched together because it's not working as well, right? But if you are 6 feet apart, keeping your social distancing, even with a mask on, I can still do social distancing. I mean, I can still do facial recognition with the software. And I'm also, people like me who won't wear a mask, when I go into the store, I can pick out, okay, this guy's not going to comply. He's not going to follow the rules. He's not going to be snowballed and BS'd and bullied into submission. So now he'll go on this list over here. These people are all complying. That's how it happens. You're brainwashed. You're told a scenario. I want you to think about this. Last year, 1.5 million people died of tuberculosis. 1.5 million people died of tuberculosis. Well, that's more than have died in the pandemic. Why weren't you all wearing your masks all that time? Because you might catch tuberculosis. Why? You know why you didn't wear your mask for tuberculosis, but you wore your mask for the coronavirus? You know why? Because you were told to. You were told to. That's why. It's very, very simple. It really, really is. The manipulation is so subtle, and it goes along, and and it's unbelievable how people will just follow along. Here's what baffles my mind. Baffles my mind. Okay. So now again, for my age group, I have a 99.5% chance of surviving if I catch the virus. 99.5, right? But they're pushing this vaccine. Oh my God, you got to get the vaccine, got to get the vaccine, you got to get the vaccine, right? And you're doing it, well, you're doing it for other people. You're doing it to help other people. This is, this is the whole mantra that's being put out there, right? But if you get the vaccine, you still have to social distance. You still have to wear your mask, and you still may get the coronavirus. Why would you get a shot? Why would you let them put something in your body when, with that? Why would you do that? It makes no sense, none whatsoever. Okay, especially especially when it's something that your chances of survival, unless you're compromised, meaning that you're elderly, your immune system is down, you have a lot of health issues already on top of it. If you have those things in there as well, then that's a totally different scenario. Okay, you're in a higher risk at that point. But if I am perfectly healthy and I feel fine and there's no issues with me, why am I wearing a mask? Why? Do you not question that? Is because I'm going to tell you what, most of you are out there wearing it. I'm talking in New York. I see most of the people out there wearing them. Okay. I'm not. I'm not. I've been out there for a year. I've gone on vacation. Um, you know, I go in and out of the stores. I touch the gas pump and I don't wash my hands afterwards. Oh my God. I want you to think about this. Everything has got the pumps all over, right? You're spraying it, you're rubbing it in your hands all the time. That oversaturation of that type of stuff is not good for you. You need to build up your natural immunities. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. I'm on a roll and I'm sorry, but I'm going to just keep rolling here. The stuff that people in South America are eating, we couldn't eat. Okay? We couldn't survive eating what they're eating. They've built up their immune system. That's what they're used to. They're not, everything is not going through to be processed and make sure it's okay and get the little stamp and everything's good and now you can sell it. They're eating stuff that, you would be like, oh God, no, I can't believe you're eating that. But they're not getting sick and they're not dying because they've built up that immunity. We, with social distancing, with staying away from people, you're not building up your immunity. You need to get sick. It happens. You need to get sick. Hey, Mountain Girl, if you ever consider prepping, a good time to start would be yesterday. Everything that is going on in our world that we know and don't know about, let me know. Oh, hold on a second. Lets me know I made the right choice. Absolutely. You are absolutely right, Mountain Girl. Thank you so much for the donation. And you're 100% correct. With everything that has happened, with everything that has gone on, yesterday was a real good time to start prepping if you haven't done it yet. And, it's just a smart thing to do. There's a lot more people waking up. A lot more people are waking up. They're realizing that we're being manipulated, that we're being played. And now they come out with 2 and 3 masks. Well, let's just kill ourselves a little bit quicker here. Unbelievable. Again, I'm going to use an analogy. All you guys out there with your paper mask on or with your cloth that you're putting over your face, right, to comply to be a good citizen, it's like putting up a chain link fence and expecting to stop a mosquito from coming through. That's exactly what's happening. The virus that is out there is so minuscule, it can get through those masks with no issues whatsoever. So if it's out there and it's so horrible, I want you to remember this too now, right? It's so horrible. It's so deadly. What's happening right now? Well, we're going to put the kids back in school. We want the kids to go back to school. It's been long enough they've been out of school. But it's terrible. Why are you putting these kids in that environment if it's so horrible? Manipulation, games, compliance, do as you're told, be a good citizen, don't buck the system, don't make waves, be a good boy, be a good girl, do as you're told, and don't ask questions. Never question the narrative, do as you're told. Okay? Well, you know what? That ain't me. I've always questioned everything. I look at stuff, I process it, I realized that we were being manipulated and BS'd, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. And so I haven't. And and like I said, I'm fine. I go to restaurants, I eat in restaurants, you know, go to the store. I was in the store today. I was the only one in the store that didn't have a mask on. So, what are you going to do? But they cannot deny you access to food. No, and the thing is, it's just, like I said, it's just a complete manipulation, is what it is. And like I said, they're using bully tactics. I was, I'll even tell you where I was. I was in Greece Ridge Mall. And when I walked into the mall, there was a sign on the door that said, if you don't wear a mask, you can be fined $1,000. Right? Guess who didn't have a mask on? Guess who walked through that mall and did whatever I wanted to do? I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not doing it. If I can maintain my social distance from you, that was part of the deal, right? If I can maintain social distances, I don't have to wear a mask. So, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But we're being played. We're absolutely being played, and way too many people are falling for it. And that's a problem. That is a huge, huge problem. But continue to prep, guys. Continue to get ready. It's so smart. It's the best thing you can possibly do. We got, 664 in the chat. We're at 429 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. And of course, the last reason I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So thank you as well for that. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. We're going to do the egg count right now really quickly because it's already 46 minutes into the chat. This goes by so fast sometimes. So what is your guys' guess on eggs today? So yesterday, let's do this here. Yesterday we had 7. The day before that it was 1. The day before that it was 8. So what is your guys' guesses today? All right, a lot of you are right. And I'm going to go with the name because I think the name is cool. If you had the same guess as John Glenn, and everybody knows who John Glenn was, hopefully. If you had the same guess as John Glenn with 4 eggs, that's where we were at today. We had 4 eggs today. So I was happy with that, especially after we had 7 yesterday. I was like, okay, 4, I'll take 4. They have been, I'll tell you what, I've had them in that chicken coop. God, I'm trying to think. Probably been 10, 11 days they haven't been out of the coop just because it's been that cold. And hey, Seth, I live in Vermont. Governor Scott is crazy as Cuomo. They're all insane. Yeah, and they're power hungry and they want to be in control. And like I said, thank you very much for the statement. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for the donation. Think about the businesses that they have destroyed with this. Think about it. It is ridiculous the number of people. If the death rate was 3.5%, like we were all initially told, remember when way back in last year in February, and I was on there saying the same thing because that's what I believed to be the truth, that it was that this death rate was at least 3.5%. I was concerned. I'll be honest. I'm like, oh my God, we better be squared away here. And then when we found out how minute and how minuscule it was, but again, no flu this year, right? No flu. Everything's coronavirus. Well, guess what? Same exact symptoms of the flu. Because why? The coronavirus is part of the flu family. That is just a major coincidence. Unbelievable how that works. So, again, the manipulation is unbelievable. But what are you going to do? But again, I'm going to encourage you to prep. Real quick, let me talk about the website real quick, preppernurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse 1 community there, which is set up for you guys to connect with like-minded people. Really, really important. It's there for you. If you're trying to find, if you just want to go in and read the message boards, that's fine. If you want to go in and try to connect with somebody in your state or in your country, that's what we set it up for. A lot of people have a hard time finding, you know, yeah, the mask or a slow death, right? Because you're not meant to breathe in your exhale. I mean, you're supposed to get rid of that, you know. So it's that relationship we have with the plants. The plants give us oxygen. We give them, what is it? Carbon dioxide. I think I'm like going blank here. What do we breathe out, guys? I'm going blank all of a sudden. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Carbon dioxide, right? Let's see. CO2. Okay. Yep. Yep. Carbon dioxide. All right. Yeah. So we're breathing that out. We're not meant to try to breathe that out through a cloth mask and breathe it back in. That's not healthy. That's not. So hold on. I heard a cat. So hold on 1 second. Why is that over there? Come on. That's right. No, like I said, it's very cold out. So when I heard the cat scratching at the door, I knew that was Gelko looking to come in. So I wanted to make sure I got him in. All right. So back to my website real quickly. Also on my website, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. If you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you will see their logo. If you click on their logo, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that's the number one, and you'll save yourself 15% on your purchase. So that's important as well. Okay, so just make sure that you guys do that as well. Also on my website, we have, if you go again, preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it will drop down. It'll say Legacy Foods. We have the Legacy freeze-dried foods. That is available there. What they have available is on there. It is GMO free, 25 year shelf life, largest portion size of any of the other freeze dried food companies. Really good. I like the food. I've had it. I've done some reviews on it, and I have it again in my preps. And so, that's, I think it's a good thing to have. It really is. Long term food storage is important as well. But having an alternative and change of pace meal is not a bad thing either. And so again, if Ed, sorry, went to the wrong site to buy other food source. Oh, it happens. That's okay. It happens. But like I said, as long as here's the thing I want you guys to remember. If you want to buy the Legacy freeze dried foods from me, that's great. If you don't want to buy the Legacy freeze dried foods, if you like Mountain House or if you like Augustin Farms, which are two other good companies, and I have both of them as well. Okay. I don't care which one you use. I really don't. Now, if you buy from me, obviously it helps support my channel and helps support what I'm doing. But as long as you are prepping, that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to continue to prep. Hey, Seth, Vermont just officially recommended double mask. Unbelievable. Well, of course, because they're being told what to do. That's, it's the CDC, Fauci, they're flip-flopping all the time and what we should do and what we shouldn't do. They talk about these new variant strains, right? Oh my God, these three different strains, one from Brazil, one South Africa, and the other one is from the UK, right? Oh my God, guess what? The flu bug mutates all the time, happens all the time. Every year, they're giving you a flu shot on something based on what you had last year. They don't know. They really don't. And that's why their effectiveness of the flu shot is about 10%. And that's an issue as well. Okay. But again, it's like they're speculating constantly. And and it's another form of manipulation. So now all of a sudden, oh, you better get your vaccination because there's all these new strains out there, which we don't know if it's going to work with the vaccination or not anyway, right? It's a manipulation. Don't let them do it. And I'm going to tell you what, Do I think it's a microchip they're putting into our bodies? No, I don't. But I don't trust what they're trying to put into our bodies. That I don't trust at all. It could be something that's going to make you more sick or make you more susceptible. You need to have natural antibodies. Just stop by to show my support, feeling free in the mountains. I'll check out the sale. Can never have enough, in my opinion. Long shelf life, no brainer. We are Legion. Thank you very much, Mountain Girl. I appreciate that. And thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate that as well. You're awesome. And I'm glad you're up in the mountains now. I know that that was your goal to get, sell the other place and get up there. And I'm really, really glad that you're there. I'm really glad that you're up there. And, you're going to be that rock for your kids, and that's important. It's just like I talked with somebody today. Again, I won't say who it was again, but their kids know if something happens, get to mom and dad's. That's what they know, and their kids are all grown, and they're all over the place. So they know if something goes down, get to mom and dad's because mom and dad are prepping, and I think that is the smartest thing. Just like with my family. Like my niece doesn't prep, not at all, not one bit. Okay, her boyfriend, she has three boys, and then his mother. Something happens, guess where they're coming? It's six people right there. That's six people. Guess where they're coming? They're coming right here because they know Uncle Ed is squared away and ready to go. Why do you think part of the reason why my mom and my sister came here and are living here full time now? Why do you think my other sister, Margie, put a building on my property and has supplies here? Just in case. And obviously, with having my family here, I am able to keep them safe, which is great. The cost of living for them is a lot less than it was. I tried to talk for years, and I want you to think about this, okay? If you have a family property and however many acres that you have, and I want you to really think about this, and this is what it used to be like in the old days. It doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately, but this is how we need to get back to being realistically. So, my mom and my sister got the building, brought it here. It's a 3-year deal on the building. Converting it into their living space in their home. Obviously, mom will be over here with me once I put my addition on my place, okay? But they were paying, what were they paying? They were paying like 7 something a month for rent, plus electric, okay? Cable, and all those type of things. And they had neighbors above them stomping around, playing loud music, and had to deal with all that nonsense and stuff like that too. But you're paying that rent month after month after month, and you never own anything. With buying a building, putting money into the building, fixing it up the right way, so now you can live in it, and you pay that building off in 3 years, and it's yours free and clear. That makes so much more sense to me. And you have your family close and you can keep them safe. And you know what? Hopefully, your family's not going to screw you, and so that's important. And so, to me, as you guys know, family's everything. It's everything. And, I'm very happy having my mom and sister here. And when Margie gets to that point where she wants to be here too, she's more than welcome to come as well. And that's my job. My job is to protect them and keep them safe, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, my granddaughter told her mom, "Sorry, mom, if anything happens, I'm going to Graham's. She has food." Good. That's awesome. I like that. That is so funny. So, but again, there's a lot to be concerned about. There's things that we need to be paying attention to, and we really should be. It is amazing to me. We are in this cancel culture, whereas if you don't agree with what I'm saying, you're gone. Hollywood is a great example of that. The bleeding heart liberals out there, they're in another planet. They live in another planet because while they live in their gated communities with security, they're going to tell us, the peons, how we need to live our life and what we should be doing. Unbelievable. And they're out living the high life and spending all kinds of ridiculous amounts of money on stuff. that, to me is just frivolous and such a waste. I want tangible goods. I want something that I can reach out and touch and go, okay, I feel good because I have XYZ amount of food on hand. I have my own power source. I have my own water. So when something happens, I can be pretty self sufficient for a long, long time. And here's the misconception I think a lot of people have. And I think this is kind of funny. And I do want to share this with you. Well, eventually your preps are going to run out. Yeah, eventually they will. But the idea of prepping and being ready and being prepared is to have that stop gap to make it through that first winter. You're trying to realistically, as preppers, you are trying to get through that first winter. That's what your number one concern is. To get through the winter, to get to the growing season, to be able to wild edibles, fishing, hunting, whatever, if that's available. Because if something major happens, there's not going to be a lot of wild game. There's not, because people are going to hunt them down to there's nothing. So those are things to think about. Okay, living this kind of lifestyle to me was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Not going to lie. A lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But I'll tell you what, I would not change it for anything. Um, you know, I bought my place here, my building. We converted it, turned it into our home. Is it the Taj Mahal? Nope. No, it is not. But guess what? It's all paid for. I don't owe nobody nothing on it. I had this building paid off in less than the 3 years. I had it for a 3 year loan. I had it paid off in less than the 3 years. So that was a huge, oh my God, that day, my payment, what was I paying? I think like 429 or 440, something in that range a month. Okay. It was for 3 years. I paid it off a couple of months early. I think I paid it off 3 months early. So I paid 2 years and 9 months, and I paid it off. I ended up saving myself like two payments, is what it is. By paying it off early, I saved myself like two payments. But I'll tell you what, 3 years, I own my building outright. I had bought my land on payments. I had that paid off within a couple of years, and then there's no debt. There was no debt. I didn't have to pay out every month to somebody. I didn't have a 30-year mortgage where, they're front loaded with interest. So in the beginning of the first 5, 6 years of your owning that home, you're paying minuscule amounts of principal. And they realize that most people are not going to stay in that home for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. So what happens is you stay in that house for 5, 6 years. You've outgrown the house. You got more kids, whatever the case may be. You need to go buy a different house. You have to move. That's what they're hoping for. That's what they can't wait for. Because then you sell that. So now you got all your bank fees again for buying that house or selling the house, and then you move on to the next one, and now you're right back in that same situation. But if you can find a property and you can find some place that you want to put those roots down and you want to have it long term and you're able to do it, it is the best thing you could possibly do. Like I said, each month, I mean, my expenses are not huge anymore. They're really not. So, once I paid my bike off, then I got the car as well because I had my other vehicle for 11 years, and it finally had enough, so I had to get another car. But again, that payment's not forever, and I'll keep my maintenance up on the car. I'll keep it in good shape as best that I can. I'm not traveling with it like I used to, so it's not getting the wear and tear like a lot of other things. So it's just proper planning, being prepared, being ready. It is smart. If you can put yourself in a situation where you can be more self-sufficient, growing as much as you possibly. Um, Ed, were your buildings prefabs? They were lofted barns. Both my home and Mom and Becky's home is a lofted barn that was sold in town. I think the Amish make them. I'm not even sure who makes them. Um, when I bought mine, it had a front door and a back door, and we did the same thing with Mom and Becky's, front door and a back door, and that's it. Put our own windows in, did all that stuff on our own, And and again, it worked out great. It worked out great. And it's like Becky already, I think she's like 9 payments already into her, into doing that. And the best part is, after 3 years, and she takes the whole 3 years to pay her thing off, and she doesn't have any payments anymore, nothing. And that